Good evening, everyone. It's very nice to see you. I'm just going to mute you all now.
Evening.
Hi, welcome, everyone. We're going to start, as last week, with Leanne leading the warm-up for us. So over to you, Leanne.
Evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. So as last time, let's all have a lovely stretch. I'll leave you to do whichever stretches you feel comfortable with. I think up to the ceiling is always good. And taking a nice deep breath in, and then not collapsing your rib cage when you go back to.
On your name, I guess. Click on your name. Click on your name. Double click.
Good. And for anybody who wants to also stand up and do a bit of arm circling, always can be nice and freeing. The upper body area, and just give your neck a bit of a gentle feel that you're freeing that up a little bit. You may have got stuck in one place during the day. Maybe a little gentle stretch to each side. Never force it, just let gravity and a little bit of weight from your arm. You've got somebody vacuum cleaner going. That sounded like someone's Hoover. Okay, very industrious at this time of night. Let's do a little bit of random vocalizing. So, humming up and down through your range, just general ups and downs in your own time. Do we have somebody with some machinery on, or possibly not remembering themselves?
I don't know why you can't hear it.
Sure.
Right. And keeping going with that vocalizing. So, nice and relaxed. Maybe give your face muscles a little bit of a massage at the same time. And high and low. Maybe including the baby rat face one from last week, if you can remember that one. The next thing we'll do is take one of our nice deep breaths. First of all, letting the air out, and then allowing the muscles to relax so that the air rushes into that ring around our tummies that we talked about. So almost like a swimming ring. So we're going to breathe out and then relax. And but allow the breath to come right into your back. So it's nice and low, and all the way around. Fantastic. So a few sort of voice consonants for you that we will do a little bit of voice consonants, and then using the abdominal muscles to give yourself a little impetus. So on a V, as in Victor, but without a vowel, so you're just maintaining a sound, and then 5 little pulses with your abdominal muscles, almost like you're revving a machine. So and go. Okay, the next sound will be zzz. So the same thing, and and you should maintain as relaxed as possible here. So you're not doing it by gripping in your throat. You're maintaining a relaxed zzz, and then the abdominals are doing the work to make that pulsing. The next one is Z sound. So the same thing. And one more, the rolled R. If anybody doesn't do a rolled R, you can do a so more like a lip trill instead. So it's the same idea. Good. So hopefully that feels as though it's using your muscles. Andrew sometimes does it on long phrases or very sustained phrases all the way through to make you realise how much work there is actually going on there. But it's work down by those big muscles rather than
Andrew just asked me to help.
up here where we want to keep nice and free and relaxed and not exert those little muscles too much. Very, very nice. So we'll do an exercise now where we'll start with humming and then going into a vowel. This one's going to be, so it's humming for the first notes, up 5 and down, and then when you get down to the bottom, going to an R, and then it's an arpeggio, dominant 7 on the way down. Let's try that from that key. So 3 and. One more and. Thanks everybody. The other one we're going to have is on an ooh vowel, a nice relaxed ooh, kind of more like a French sound than the ooh we say in English. It has a bit of E in it, so nice and relaxed, especially the tongue and jaw. And we'll just do the ooh vowel on this pattern. Just going up by a third, down, and then a fifth, and down, and the octave, and down. Let's try that. So 3 and. If it gets too high, drop out, but we'll do one more. Thank you, everyone. Andrew, how are you getting on with those rooms? Yeah?
Yeah, I think we're there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we will keep going now with a little bit of Parry. I think I said last week, it's quite nice when we're doing Bach to try and do something that's quite different to Bach, I think, at the beginning of the rehearsal, just so it's not all much for muchness. We sang this piece in 2012, I think, with the Howells Hymnus Paradisi and Enigma variations in that program as well. So I hope some of you at least will remember it. There are 8 parts. So choose whatever you like, the one you know, the one you don't know, the one that doesn't look too high. Do take it easy a little bit in this. I know there's some big top notes and things that are perhaps not easy to do in your bedrooms. So feel free to stop and enjoy if that feels safer than going for it on the top notes. But if you want to go for it, be my guest. This is a recording conducted by David Hill with a choir with a treble line, which I don't love, but it's by a distance the kind of clearest recording for you to sing along with, I think. So here goes. We shall do this only once. about 9 seconds of echo or something at the end. Oh, we're going to have so much fun when all this is over, aren't we? Going back to these pieces. Fantastic. I just love that stuff. Brilliant. I'm so sorry about the sound. It seems that some of you are having trouble with the sound. I'm doing everything right at my end. So if the problem is at my end, it can only be my connection with the outside world. And there's not a lot I can do about that. I can try in the break to turn my router off and on again. But beyond that, I'm afraid it's out of my gift because I'm plugged into my router. So it's not my Wi-Fi or anything like that. So I'm terribly sorry. Do keep telling me if it's problematic in the Bach as well. It seems about 5 or 6 of you have got problems at the moment. So there we go. It might just be the world's internet creaking a little bit under the weight of all these Zoom choir rehearsals. Let's go on into Bach. And we will do some sectional work up until the break. It seems to work quite nicely that way, and we can then come back together. So this time I'm going to send the ladies off into the breakout room, and Leanne's going to go with you. So I have, as ever, had a good go at putting you into the right rooms, but I'm sure I would have got it wrong. So I'm about to send you the invitation. If you get sent away and you'd rather not be away, then there is a way of finding your way back. And I'm sure if you can't figure it out, someone in the room will help you. And if anyone's left here who shouldn't be left here, I'm sure they'll shout at me until I do something about it. So here we go. I'm opening the breakout room now for the ladies. Hopefully you've got an invitation on your screens. Off they go. Who have I missed? I've missed you, Ruth, have I? No.
I think I might be in the wrong room. Sorry, I lost my internet connection for a minute.
Oh, is that Dee?
Yes.
Yes. Let me assign you. Where are you on my list? Here we are. Assign to room 1. Hopefully that should be it. Anybody else? Annalise, did you want to be in the other room with the ladies if I can send you off? I seem to have missed you as well. I'm so sorry. So you should get an invitation on your screen any minute, Annalise. What's going on here? There you go. It should come up now. So if you click on that, it should take you away to join the sopranos and the altos. Is anybody else here that would rather not be here? Would you rather go to the other room? Yes, I'll move you. Brilliant. Okay. I think I'm right in saying you didn't get quite as far as number 25 last week. So let's have a look, first of all, at number 25. It's very like the one you did do. And this is going to be on page 65, page 65. And I think you'll get a little run in. The Jews therefore said unto him, for us it is not. The tricky thing about this for me is the text, for us it is not. Feels like those syllables can come in just about any order. For us it is not. For us it is not. Let's have a go. I can't remember how fast this recording is, but if it's too fast, I shall slow it down. So I will mute the sopranos and altos, and off we go. And what for us it is not, us it is not, it is not lawful, it's not lawful to put a man to death. For us it is not lawful to put a man to death. It is not It's not lawful for us, it is not lawful, it is not lawful. Okay, good. I'm going to slow that down straight away, shall I? because I think that is a little bit too fast to be learning. Give me a second, change tempo. Let's go down about 15%, shall we? Good. Let's do it once again straight away, and then I'll break it down into parts for you, but hopefully this will be a little bit more measured and easy. This is page 65, big number 23. For us it is, for us it is, it is not lawful to put a man to It's not lawful for us. It is not lawful. It's not lawful. Good. Sounded like all the tracks in my audio file went slower except for one of them. So I'm sorry, I've muted that very odd thing that was going on in the middle. Sounded like a honky-tonk piano. Let's do it in parts, shall we? Shall we start with the basses? Let me transpose my organ, as they say. There we go. For us it is not. For us it is not law. So let's just do it with me playing and singing your part and just a little bit of harmony. It's probably easier to hear than with the general cacophony that is the actual texture of this. So basses after 3. 1, 2, 3. For us it is not. For us it is not lawful to put a man to death. For us it is not lawful. 3, 4. To put a man to death, it is not lawful. It's not lawful for us. It is not lawful. It is not lawful. Well done, basses. I think actually it's not too difficult apart from 1 or 2 points. The first of which for me is on page 66. You've been going around quite nicely in chromatic scales, up and down, semitones. And then suddenly at the end of the first bar of page 66, you have to drop a tone twice. So we have A to G sharp is a semitone, to G natural is a semitone, and then a whole tone, and another whole tone, and then a semitone, which feels slightly like you're going down the plug hole. Oh, that little moment there is the place to watch out for. Something similar happens, doesn't it, at the beginning of page 67? You go up semitones to the page turn, and then down in tones. So it's going down a different ladder to the one that you came up. Tenor, should we do yours the same sort of way? So I'll play from the beginning of the chorus. Here's your A. The Jews therefore said unto him, for us it is not lawful, it's not lawful to put a man to death, to put a man to death, a man to death. It is not lawful, it is not lawful, it's not lawful, for us it is not lawful, it is not lawful. How'd you get on, tenors? The tessitura is pretty I was going to say crucifying, but it's an unfortunate choice in this piece. But it is very, very high. I would absolutely encourage you to croon or sing in falsetto when you're learning this. I certainly couldn't sing this chorus at that tempo. It'd be absolutely heroic. So just find your way around the notes. The same sorts of difficulties occur for the tenors as for the basses. So on page 66, the second bar, we have a nice intuitive chromatic ascent. Just follow your nose up the semitones to the top A. But then coming down is very odd. First of all, a tone, then semitone, semitone, whole tone, whole tone. So I'll just play you that whole figure. So to put a man. So the E flat and the D flat in the last bar of the page, I think, are really quite tricky. Should we put it together, tenors and basses, but still with me just playing kind of very skeletally around you, I think. I'll try and sing whichever part is more useful at a given moment, but I'll try and play them both. This may not work. So from page 65. The Jews therefore said unto him, for us it is not lawful, is not lawful to put a man to death. To put a man to death. It is not lawful. It is not lawful. It's not lawful for us. It is not lawful. It is not lawful. Well done. You looked pretty confident. I'm afraid page turns are beyond me doing all those things at once. So let's go back to the actual audio file now, shall we? And you'll get a little bit more moral support as well as a bit more distraction. So still at the slow tempo. Someone may ask me about breathing at some point, and I don't have an answer. It's snatch as you can. Breathe within phrases. It's totally fine. There's enough of us to cover one another up. So please don't feel any shame in breathing halfway through these phrases. You'll hear that I had to on the recording. So here we go. And bass. Us it tenor. For us it is not lawful. It's not lawful to put a man to It's not lawful for us. It is not lawful. It's not lawful. Good. How are you doing, gents? Thumbs up for feeling okay. Oh, it's pretty good. Shall we try it a tiny bit faster once? Maybe just before we move on, and we will come back to it later as well. So I'm just going to see if I can undo what I did before. Yes, here we go. And one. For us it is not lawful. It's not lawful to put a man to death. For us it is not It's not lawful for us. It is not lawful. it is not lawful. Good. That is absolutely the top speeds that it could go, even for the orchestra. So it certainly won't go any faster than that. Jolly well done. How? Just out of interest, how's the audio going? Are we okay? Good. Oh, that's terribly good news. Let's continue then. The next one I think will be useful to look at is number 34. Number 34 is on page 86. I'm doing difficult ones now, and we'll have fun with the chorales later on. I'm just going to assign a breakout room. There we go. Right. 34. Where's my file gone? There it is. Let's have a go at this, shall we? And I think you'll hear from, and put on him a purple robe and said, well, you get a nice run in anyway from the sopranos and altos. Here we go. Purple robe and said, see we hail, see we hail, see we hail, see we hail, King of Jews, we hail thee, see King of Jews, we hail, King of Jews, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see we hail, see we hail, King of Jews, we hail thee. Good, well done. It's a huge bass range, this one. I remember from recording it. Down to bottom F and up to what, D or something. Must have had some pretty extraordinary singers. And certainly if the theories are right that some of these things were actually done 1-2 apart. So it's a really extraordinary bass range. Good. So this is the really mocking one. You remember it in German, perhaps. Sei gegrüßet, liebe you. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. But it's all ironic. So see, we hail thee. I don't think too legato. It's not see, we hail thee. Let's do it again. And this time I shall eliminate the sopranos and the altos. So you'll hear yourselves just a little bit better. Here we go. One. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we King of Jews, we hail thee. See, King of Jews, we King of Jews, we hail thee. King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee. King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee. King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee. King of Jews, we hail thee. Well done. I was wondering, but I think it probably is useful to do it parts separately, isn't it? So we can hear what's going on. There's so much parts crossing. Shall we do it with me singing and playing again? Is that helpful? Let's do it that way then. So let's do tenors first this time for a change, shall we? Tenors first. So it's going to be C. Oh, hang on. See, we hail. I so rarely have the luxury of a keyboard that transposes. I just start transposing out of habit, and then it's a double transposition. So here we go, tenors, from where you start. 1, 2, 3, 1. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. King of Jews, we hail thee. King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee. King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee. King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee. See, we hail thee. King of Jews, we hail thee. Two little moments where you drop down tenors I think are hard. One is on the bottom of page 87. Just finding the low A after you've done the scale up at the end of the top line. King of Jews, we hail thee. So if you remember where you were on King, King of Jews, we hail thee. It's just that semitone lower. King of Jews, we hail thee. The other one I can imagine catching people out is just over the page turn, coming all the way down the octave. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, which puts you underneath the basses. King of Jews, we hail thee. Good. Let's do the basses. Basses, have a look at that page turn, 87 to 88, because this is really where the mountaineering goes on. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. And that rare beast, a bass trill. Jews, we. So sing a G if you can before you sing your F sharp. Actually, I think it makes it easier because you sung the G just before. Bum, ba, bum, pa, and then you wobble. So let's go from the beginning basses. See, we hail thee. 2, 3, 1. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. Good. Well done. So just lots of places you have to jump down the octave and back up again. If you don't have the low note spaces, I don't mind at all if you just sing the upper note twice. Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee. I'm sure that's what they would have done if they didn't have those low notes. Just sing the bass note up the octave if you need. Let's put it together, and I'll do it with the piano this time as well, because I think it's not so difficult, this one. So tutti from the beginning. Here we go. And put on him a purple robe and said, See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see, King of Jews, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. Good. How are we doing, gents? Happy? So we'll come back to it later. Excellent. Let's keep going. Number 36 over the page on page 91. Now things get serious. Crucify, 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 which is a bit easy to say than kreuziger, 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 which really is a tongue twister. Crucify, crucify just trips off the tongue a little bit more kindly, I think, than the German. But the notes are not terribly kind in this one. So let's have a go. I think the recording is reasonably steady, but I can steady it down further if we need to. There's only just over a minute of it. And you're going to hear, I think, they all cried out saying, crucify, crucify, and it all joins up. So this is the bottom of page 90, the last couple of beats. Here we go. They all cried out saying, crucify, crucify. Crucify, 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 crucify. Wonderful moment at the end when the basses are stuck on D and the tenors on the C sharp. It's a fantastic clash just there at the very end. Good. let's keep going by separating the parts, I think. So it feels a bit formulaic doing everything the same way, but I think it's probably effective. So let's do the basses first this time on page 91, and I'll play with you. We'll go a little bit slower. I don't think there are any sort of elephant traps. It's just a little bit hard. In fact, basses, have a look at bar 15 on page 94. It's probably the hardest moment, I reckon. The crucify, coming down that augmented fourth from the C to the F sharp. I'll play it again. Crucify. So that's the moment I think really to watch out for. So let's go from the beginning basses on page 91. There's your B flat. A little bit steadier. 3, 4, 1. Crucify, crucify. Crucify. Crucify, 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 crucify. Crucify, 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 crucify. Good basses. Happy? Maybe. Yep. Good. Excellent. Let's do the same with the tenors, shall we? Let's do the same with the tenors. Jumps around a lot, this tenor part. Some of it's very low. So here's a D tenors. And after 1. 3, 4, 1. Crucify, crucify. Crucify, 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 crucify. Crucify, 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 crucify. Crucify, 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 crucify. And that ending tenors is the best bit, I think. You've heard F sharp in the alto. You really contradict. Really heroic. Crucify, crucify. Let's put it together, shall we? And let's risk it with the piano accompaniment. So here, once again, is page 91 with a little run in. Last bar, page 90. Off we go. They all cried out, saying, "Crucify, crucify!" 1, 2, tenors, basses. Crucify, 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 crucify. You can tell I like the last bit, can't you? So tenors, I suggest you keep that C sharp very straight, not too much vibrato, so we get the maximum needle out of that interval. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Are we getting towards a thumbs up? Oh, there's a few there. Oh, excellent. We've got 4 minutes, so let's just have a quick read of 38, shall we? I put it down as maybe we'll get there if we have time. So, we have a sacred law, or the old translation, we have an old decree, which I slightly miss at this point. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. So number 38 was the right track. Here we go. Let's get rid of the sopranos now. Well, I've got plenty of time to do that. I think this is going to be the bar before. The Jews therefore answered him, 1. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. He made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son. He made himself the Son of God. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. He made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son of God. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. He should die. Himself the Son of God, the Son of God. Well done. I think we just got time to read it one more time and before the break, and I'll close the breakout rooms as we do so. So once more from the beginning, and then it'll be break time. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. He made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son. He made himself the Son of God. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. He made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son of God. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. He should die. For he made himself the Son of God. He made himself the Son. We have a sacred law, and by this same law he should die. By this same law he should die. For he made himself the Son of God, the Son of God. Well done, gentlemen. Welcome back, ladies. Brilliant timing. Fantastic. We'll take our break there. If there are any notices, Debbie, do jump in.
Hello.
Hi.
Here I am jumping in. The only real notice tonight is to tell you that it's our fantastic Riches Beyond Belief 100 Club draw tonight. Now, before I invite the glorious team of Chris and Sarah to do the draw, I just want to say a couple of people have said, oh, it's always the same people that win it. Well, there is a real good mathematical reason for that. You've got to be in it to win it. And there are, at the moment, only 29 ticket holders. And 4 of those ticket holders have 4 tickets each. Ergo, they keep winning. So if anyone else would like to join the 100 Club, it's an absolute bargain. And you've got all this excitement to look forward to once a month. So with that, I shall hand over to Chris and Sarah to do the deed.
Are you there, Sarah?
I am indeed, yes. Here I am.
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah. Right, shall I start then? So, the first prize this month for the January draw is number 53. Number 53 for the third prize.
Which is Kathy Goodman.
Oh, there you are.
We're going to have the same complaints again.
That proves Debbie's theory.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
And the second prize goes to, I remember this number. I'm sorry, these really are randomly pulled out. Number 48.
Which is also Kathy Goodman.
I've got the back.
Oh, no.
I'll reach right to the bottom and juggle them all around even more than usual and pull out the first prize this month is number 9. Number 9.
Which is Jill Coates.
Hey.
There we are. That's it. Thank you very much.
So can I just check? You've done 1, 2, and 3, not 3, 2, and 1. If you see what I mean.
I did them in third prize, second prize,
Yeah.
first
Third,
prize.
second,
Okay, I
third.
missed that. Okay, so Jill has got the first prize.
Yeah.
I just want to double check that. And
Indeed.
Kathy has got the second and the third.
She has, in fact, yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry to have you to clarify that, but you didn't want to make a mistake.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brilliant stuff. Chord, and then a couple of clicks. In fact, I'll give you a chord as well. Page 57, number 21. Here we go. And Christ whose life was as the light, by his friends forsaken, in the darkness of the night, like a thief was taken. Judgment of a goddess taught, witness falsely proffered, bitter taunts and cruel sport, as foretold So this is really scene setting for the second half, and I would suggest it's quite an indignant chorale. We can't believe the state of things. This amazing person, Christ, whose life was as the light, is forsaken, is on trial, is up against a sort of kangaroo court, bitter taunts and cruel sport, just as was foretold. So for me, the beginning, I think, should be really quite strong. I've put forte, Christ, whose life was as the light, a quaver out at the pause, but there's no time, just a quaver out, by his friends forsaken. In the darkness of the light, maybe mezzo forte, so it's a little bit less in the beginning. And then we need to go through after night, just as you would in German there. In the darkness of the night, like a thief was taken. And it's quite fun to bring the TH of thief nice and early. Like a thief was taken. So there's a little feeling of accent, a little sort of poke. Imagine treating him like that, like a thief was taken. And then from bar 9, I think it's a crescendo. and maybe even moving on a little bit. Judgment of a godless court, witness falsely proffered. So again, we're sort of rising in indignation. Forte, for sure, for the bottom line. Bitter taunts and cruel sport. Really enjoy the B of bitter and the CR of cruel. If you sung this in German, you'll remember verlacht, verhöhnt und verspielt. The line gets really brutally broken up by the text in German. We can't do that quite as well in English, but we can certainly do a lot of bitter taunts and cruel sport. So make a meal of that text and we'll make an effect. And then I think the last 3 bars are quite a lot quieter. Bitter taunts and cruel sport, as foretold he suffered. So I put mezzo piano for the last 3 bars or so. Should we do it once more? Here's that chord again. Here we go. 3, 4. Christ whose life was as the light, by his friends forsaken, in the darkness of the night, like a thief was taken. Judgment of a goddess court, witness falsely proffered, bitter taunts and cruel sport, as foretold he and that strangely kind of inconclusive cadence always feels to me like there's sort of curtains being drawn on the scene for the second part. So let's keep going. Over the page, we lead Jesus from Caiaphas into the judgment hall. And then Pilate goes out and says, what's the accusation? And we say, if this man were not a malefactor, we had not delivered him. Which is a rather circular argument, but there it is. Good. Let's have a go at number 23 then all together. Let's see if I can find the right file. Oh, where's it gone? 23, 20. There we go. Okay, you'll get, and they answered and said unto him, leading you in. So here's D minor, and here's the end of the page before. Said unto him, if this man were not a malefactor, we had not delivered him. This man were not a malefactor. We had not delivered him. Had not delivered him. We had not delivered him. Had not delivered him. We had not delivered him. We had not delivered him. Had not delivered him. Well done if you stayed with that. Jolly good stuff. I suggest the last note is short, just to quaver. Had not delivered him. Get it out, get it done with. I'm going to slow the recording down just a little bit. I think I did that last week and it's gone back to what it was, unsurprisingly. So let me just slow it down just a little bit to give you a bit more of a chance. Applying change tempo. There we go. Excellent. Malefactor is quite a hard word to sing. we had a little debate in the Griffiths household about the second vowel, but we've gone for malefactor. So it's not malefactor and it's not malefactor because you have to sustain it for so long. So I'm going for malefactor. And in fact, the second and the fourth vowels are the same. And they're roughly like the vowel in the French word coeur. In other words, they've got some rounding of your lips. It's not just malefactor. And I think that helps when you're sustaining malefactor to have a really good, well-placed vowel rather than malefactor. So go. It's not the most important thing in the world, but if you're worried about the vowel, go for that nice round as in I don't know what the vowel is, or erred and strayed like lost sheep. One of those. Good. Breathe wherever you can. Snatch at commas. It's kind of impossible, and you'll hear on the recording we sort of can't do it. So it's a communal effect thing, really. And anything obviously that's chromatic, we really want to hear dum 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 dee da dee da dee da. There's a sort of rising threat that goes through those lines. So it should feel like this is quite a dangerous crowd that Pilot is trying to restrain at this point. So that a note of threat in the sound is pretty good, I think. Let's have another go then, a little bit slower. I know we've just rehearsed the other one that goes quite a lot like this, but not exactly the same. So sorry about that. Here we go. And they answered and said unto him, if this man were not a malefactor, a malefactor, not a malefactor, a we had not delivered him. And we're not a malefactor. We had not delivered him. Had not delivered him. We had not delivered him. Had not delivered him. We had not delivered. We had not delivered him. Had not delivered him. Well done, everyone. So I think the last trill, I think I might have said this to the ladies last time, I think the last trill is compulsory for the sopranos, but the ones on page 62 are sort of do them if you can. In the altos, there's almost no time, really. It's kind of nice to hear just a smell of C natural against the C sharp in the bass. But I'm sure it's there in the orchestra, even if you don't manage it. And the same for the sopranos. Ideally, it's another E. Delivered him. But it's enough trouble trying to remember to sing vert in the right place. Delivered him at that point. How did we do? Give me a thumbs-ish position for that. Ooh, it's looking pretty confident. I'm encouraged to keep going. Suggestion that we do some chromatic scales in the warm-up next week. That is a rather good idea. I won't identify the suggestee for fear of reprisals. Good. Let's keep going, shall we? More recitative. The sort of trial scene. Art thou the King of the Jews? Jesus answered, are you saying that, or did other people say that? And so on. And then we have this wonderful little arioso that Christ sings on page 70. My kingdom is not of this world. Were my kingdom of this world, then my servant surely would be fighting. Sort of a description of sort of martial and battle music there. Dee da dee dum dum da 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 dum da da. If I wanted to fight, I could fight, but I'm not fighting. And so we sing this chorale how extraordinary and glorious you are on the one hand, compared to us being so feeble. So the first verse of this, I think I've put mezzo forte. O mighty King. We can even have a little breath straight away. How marvelous thy glory. Breath. How can our faltering tongues proclaim thy story? Breath. No human heart can ever rightly show thee how much we owe thee. So that's another one of these inhumanly long phrases. Find somewhere interesting and unexpected to breathe in that. Hopefully not the same place as one another. And the second verse, piano. With feeble power, unworthy hymns we fashion. Breath. Wherewith to praise thy mercy and compassion. Breath. Thou wert and art the source of every blessing that we're possessing. I can't stand that apostrophe in that sentence, but there it is. So we go through both times, in other words, in bar 9. Let's have a go at this. 27. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Here we are. Here's A minor. Oh, 1 and. Almighty King, how marvelous thy glory! How can our faltering tongues proclaim thy story? No human heart can ever rightly show thee how much we owe thee. With feeble power, unworthy hymns we fashion, wherewith to praise thy mercy and compassion. Thou wert and art the source of every blessing that we possessing. It's one of the most beautiful harmonizations of all of them, I think. Have I missed one out? Leanne's telling me I've missed one out. No. 27. Yeah, with this wonderful bass part, like the pedals of the old. Oh, Leanne's absolutely right. I have missed out 25. Well, since we're on the chorale, we'll do this first. I'm so sorry. Let's do the chorale one more time, shall we? And I would say really enjoy the altos and tenors, bar 7. This wonderful lines, and tenors and tenors going on with the chromatics. It's so expressive, these chromatic lines, maybe even sort of referring to the choruses with all the chromatics you've been doing sort of as well. Good. Let's sing it once more, and then I'll go and fill in the gap. Sorry about that. Going mad. And Almighty King, how marvelous thy glory! How can our faltering tongues proclaim thy story? No human heart can ever rightly Beautiful. So let's rewind a little bit. He said in an embarrassed voice to page 65. For us it is not law. That you've probably had a look at already this evening. So Pilate says, take him away, treat him according to your law. And they say, we're not allowed to put anyone to death. We need Roman law here. For us it is not law. So let's find the right file. 25, where have you gone? Here we go. Let's give you a bit more warning, shall we? So this is going to be the Jews therefore said. I'll sing the evangelist. Here we go. The Jews therefore said unto him, good. And it should develop, I think, to a real sort of rhetorical ending. It is not lawful. Is not lawful. We finally start singing the same words at the same time there in the last bars. Is not lawful. So those last two notes, let's make kind of marcato. So it's not lawful, but lawful. It finishes with a real sort of exclamation mark, I think would be a good. Actually, just write an exclamation mark at the end. It'll give you the right feeling. Should we do it one more time? I might slow it down just a hint, which will just give us a little bit more space to fight. I know we've done it all separately, but there's more to put each other off at this point. So just a smidgen slower. Once again, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. For us it is not Great, very good. We've done 27. So let's jump ahead now. And we've got 29 is our next one. Not this man, no, not this, not this, but Barabbas. I'm sure you remember this one. Not this, but Barabbas, Barabbas. Bar 4 of this one. Let's shorten Barabbas, Barabbas. That one's a quaver, but the last one is full length. Barabbas, off on the bar line. So Barabbas, Barabbas. The last one's different. Okay, let's find the right file. Here we go. Short and sweet. 3, 4, 1. Not this man, no, not this. Not this, but this, Barabbas. Not this, but Barabbas, Barabbas. Let's do it again. Not this man. No, not this. It has to be very fast. No, not this. It's hard for the basses. No, not this. I would suggest that you don't try and sing T's in not to this. No, not this is impossible. No, not this. No, not this will be quite enough. Not this man. No, not this. Not this, but Barabbas. And really aim for the bat of Barabbas. Of Barabbas. Not this, but Barabbas. 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 Let's roll the R a little bit. I can't stop myself. Done it in German too many times, but I just think quite a good effect. Barabbas, Barabbas. Good. Let's do it again. So you get the whole bar before from the tenor. I'll try and catch it and sing it this time. Here we go. Then cry they all with one accord, saying, not this man, not this, not this, not this, not this, but Barabbas, not this, but Barabbas, Barabbas. Splendid. And I wanted to see if we can get to one more this evening. So at this point we have the scourging. You see on the right-hand page of your copy there on page 75, the terrible, awful scourge, sort of depicted in excruciating and lurid detail, the sort of torment that goes on. The only time the evangelist does anything like that. And then we have wonderful bass recitative Betrachter. Look and see what's going on here. Gaze on this and draw some lessons. And then the eternal tenor aria, Erwäger, telling us to look at the body bruised and bleeding and so on. And let's finish tonight with number 34. Let's hope I haven't missed any more out. Number 34 on page 86. See, we have the... So this is when Jesus has been given the crown of thorns and the robe and all the rest of it, and is paraded. And this is the mocking of him. So you remember in German, sei gegrüßet is this nasty kind of knowing sound. So we can get some of that as well. See, we hail the King of Jews. So it wants to sound ironic. It wants to sound sarcastic and nasty. And let's have a go at this. 34, where have you gone? Okay. You get one bar of Evangelist. And put on him a purple robe, and said, and see we hail, see we hail, see we hail, see we hail of Jews, we hail thee, see King of Jews, we hail of King of Jews, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see we hail, see we hail, King of Jews, we hail thee. Well done, everyone. So I think you can break just about before every see we hail thee. Jews, we hail thee, see we hail thee, dum ba da da dee da dum dum da da da. So lots of little gaps, particularly when we all sing the words at the same time, which starts to happen from, I think, the end of page 87, the last note of page 87. Well, even the middle of that bar. There's quite a lot, isn't there? See, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee. See, we hail thee. Sort of like the crowd starts as lots of disparate people, and it starts to come into being a sort of chant by the end of it, that everyone's caught on to the rhythm of the teasing. We've just got time to do it one more time before we finish. So from page 86, once more. And put on him a purple robe, and said, see we hail, see we hail, see we hail, we hail of Jews, we hail of Jews, we hail thee, see King of Jews, we hail of King of Jews, we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see we hail thee, King of Jews, we hail thee, see we hail, see we hail, King of Jews, we hail thee. Fantastic. To be continued next week. As I say, we're really in the meat of the piece now. These choruses come thick and fast, and they're fantastic. Thank you all very much indeed. Huge thank you to Leanne for helping out and also for recording these things. It's really, really, really helpful. See you all next Thursday.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew and Leanne. Thank you, Leanne.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.